Diabetes is no barrier to travelling anywhere in the world, but it's a good idea to plan ahead and make the right preparations so that you can prevent any problems.
Hi, my name's Steve Maud. I'm 45 years old. I'm a type 1 diabetic and have been for 40 years, but I've never let it hold me back. And I'm a cameraman and a video producer travelling off to the farthest reaches of the world to tell stories about global health and stuff like that. I travel a lot and have to manage my diabetes with that. So I'm on the pump. I use the Freestyle Libre for my glucose monitoring, and then I sort of have various backups. I've got a spare pump. It's an old pump, but it works. So if this one breaks down, then I've got something. Dextra gel, which is this fast-acting, just in case. I've never ever in my life had to use it. I have to cater for the insulin because obviously it goes off in hot weather. So you need Frio bags, which are the kind of key part of my setup. This is all nice and cold inside there, and essentially when it's dried out, it's sort of these beads. You soak them for 8 to 12 minutes, and then it stays cold for like 3-4 days.
That's for the heat, but in the cold, keep your insulin and your meter close to your body. Meters don't work properly when they're cold.
This trip I'm going out to Guinea, Conakry, to interview the President of Guinea for a UNAIDS campaign. I'll be flying out overnight.
If you know you're going to get jet lag, your diabetes team can help you plan changes to your insulin regime. General rule of thumb is if your time zone changes less than 4 hours, you shouldn't need to make big changes. Do warn the airline about what you'll be carrying in your hand luggage to avoid problems in security or on the flight. Don't forget your diabetes ID, a letter from your doctor and a meds list. Carry enough for a good few days in case you lose your luggage.
Well, it's 1 in the morning. I've just landed in Conakry and pretty knackered. There you go. So I've got my thing. .2. So there you go. Good to be able to know my blood on the go. Time for customs.
As a precaution, take double the quantity of medical supplies you normally use for your diabetes, and for pump users, a backup pen or spare pump. Ideally, split your supplies with a travel companion for extra safety. Then you're ready for your day.
Morning. So it's 7 in the morning. I got to the hotel at about 2 in the morning, had a bit of sleep, and just first thing I do is do my checky thing. 6.7. That is good. And look at that. Perfect line. We're off to meet the actual President of Guinea in a second and his people. But it's all kind of trying to solve these global health problems. And I'm trying to manage my diabetes. See ya. So, did the interview with the President. That was all funny and rushed, and no phones allowed inside, unfortunately, so I couldn't get any images. But I had a lovely chat with the press, the head of press. We were going through the questions and just waiting around a bit, and I tested my sugar, and this usually happens is that about 12:30 you see the spike and it starts heading down, and I thought, oh God, I'm going to be interviewing the President, I don't want to get low sugar. So I asked him for a Coke, and I said I'm diabetic, and then he said, oh, I'm diabetic too, and he's a type 1 diabetic, and there was another guy there who was type 2. And we had a lovely chat about it, and I showed him my freestyle thing and my pump, and asked him how he copes in the heat in Africa, because you know, I never understand how people manage diabetes, and they just have 2 injections a day. They have 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. It's very basic control. But it's lovely to connect with people with diabetes, and you know, feel like we have that thing in common. So yeah, we're not alone, guys. We're not alone. Anyway, I thought I'd just share that with you. Otherwise, interview with the President was good, and it's been a mad, hectic day, run around, and we're just stopping to get some nice grilled chicken and chips. Wow.
charging around in the heat with irregular meal patterns can test your control to the limits. Heat speeds up insulin absorption, and for those on holiday, long periods of sunbathing can push glucose levels up, so be aware. In the cold, insulin will be absorbed more slowly at first, but this will speed up if you get warmer. To avoid going too high or too low, test more regularly. Monitor your levels and keep hypo treatments to hand that won't melt or freeze. And on top of all that, watch out for the effects of stress.
Yeah, day 2, busy night last night. Diabetes-wise, I had pasta. Now, pasta's a difficult one because it just stays in your system and goes on for ages. And so my sugar was 9, I think, when I went to bed last night, and I wake up in the morning and it's 12. And I'll just do my thing. And now we're on 14.1. And if you can see that line, that peak you see there in the morning. So basically, I woke up at 7:30 with a phone call saying, we need the stills urgently. And I'm not even a photographer, but anyway. And mornings are difficult because your sugar just sort of crawls up anyway. And I honestly, the stress, it suddenly starts sending it up. I mean, I haven't eaten anything. My normal sugar, you saw how flat it was yesterday. But today, because of pasta and stress, pasta plus stress equals rising sugar. Yeah, stress, it's annoying. Relax.
Stress is annoying, so it's a good idea to find out where you can get emergency supplies of insulin wherever you are. But do check what units they use. Some countries measure in milligrams per 100 millilitres and not in millimoles per litre. Take a conversion chart so that you can get your dosage right. And just as importantly, also be prepared for a hypo. Then you can relax.
It's 1 o'clock, and as usual, I sort of thought I'd do a test. Do my test on my arm, and it's 4.4. And look at that peak. So you see how it went up. God, I'm shaking so much. So you see how it went up after breakfast, and then there's this slow decline. So it's kind of difficult because you try and give yourself enough insulin to beat the peak, but then it obviously stays in your system and keeps working its way down. So, you know, that's life. So went and got a Coke, and we're just about to sit in this, that's a restaurant back there, and I'm going to have my little bit of fish and chips. Exertion really has a big impact in bringing your sugars down faster. So, you know, morning of filming, and it brings it down. When I clink.
Remember to look after your skin and check your feet. Being active is good, but wear sun cream and don't go barefoot. And at the end of a long day, it's a good idea to watch the sundowners. If you do have one too many, then always have a starchy snack at the same time to prevent hypos. Test your blood glucose level before you go to bed, and eat another snack if your level is between normal and low.
Here we are. Later, I packed pretty much everything and ready to get on my plane after this whirlwind 2-day trip. Time for a glucose check-in. Okay. Oh, no, that's the door coming. I'm just going to get that 6.6 straight across. Good.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, madame.
Vous allez bien?
Oui, très bien, merci. Dinner. Oh, burger and chips. Oh, man. I mean, how many carbs is that? I mean, to look at it, I'd say that's about 60 grams of carbohydrate. So, get my pump out. I'm chickening out. I'm going to do 50. See? Okay, 60. I don't know. 60. Add blood glucose. 6. Nice. I'm so glad it was good for on camera because it's usually crap.
We're really grateful to Steve for sharing his working trip so honestly with us. Taking advice and appropriate precautions will help you to enjoy your travels. his journey home is something of a challenge, which is a good reminder to be particularly careful with your control on travel days. And be sure, like Steve, to carry spare kit in your hand baggage.
By the way, apropos of nothing, having eaten that, I now feel really low. I've also eaten a Mars bar and some jelly babies. And I don't know overeat, but it's 3.9 and crashing. Which happens. And I think it's just because I've had a massive long day and suddenly your body just catches up. The adrenaline of the day, and I was very excited and jumpy earlier, kind of wears off, and then your sugar crashes. But I did have 7 units as well, which is maybe a bit much. Should have had less. Ça va? Yeah, I feel a bit tired, but basically it was a choice of either get a beer or a Coke for my sugar, which is 4, so I'm going for the sugar option. But yeah, kind of hot and sweaty. It's 12:30. I've now got, the flight leaves at 2:25, and then I think I've got 4 hours to Casablanca, and then like a quick turnaround, then another 3 hours I think. I land in London tomorrow at about 11 in the afternoon. 11 in the morning, sorry. 11 in the morning. So, lots of fun. Might have come off in the sweat. Right, well, I've decided that because my sugar's going even higher, I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to just change my insulin. I'm going to use the fresh insulin. Close your eyes if you're squeamish. So tiring, diabetes, honestly. I haven't got much sleep. Well, it's 3:30 local time. I don't know how long I've been on this flight. So tiring. It's kind of a bit tricky. So I don't want to come crashing down on my insulin, so I'm going to do it a bit at a time. 5 minutes, I'll check in an hour. So I'm now on the second leg of my flight in Casablanca. Yeah, just like the film. You might remember that. So, latest sugar check. Your guess is as good as mine. I guess, okay, I'm putting on money at being around 14. 11 to 14. Oh, 10.9. Oh look, and it's plunging down now. So that's what happens. Better watch out. I'll give it a while and see where it gets to, but that might be going quite low, So here I am, finally back home again after a 2-day trip, which feels like a long time. And a lot's gone on, and I'm very tired. Just going to do a fine little test. 7.3, and so back on track. That huge spike there, that raise, basically my pump came off, and working in the sweat and in the heat and bending down to film and stuff like that, and I did feel it sort of scratching against it a bit, and it felt a bit funny, and that's usually the sign that it's basically sweated off. So I reckon I must have, I got that very low sugar in the evening after I had my hamburger, and then eating all of that stuff, there was no insulin in my body at all to kind of make up for it. So it just shot up over 2 hours from, 3 to 25, which is crazy. And that's why it's so important to have those backups for those occasions, because you never know. So, but that's what it's usually like, and I make it back, and I'm still here alive to tell the tale. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey, and I might do some more. Quite enjoyed that. It's nice. Kind of keeping a log of it. I think, although my sugar was up and down, it helped me think about it a bit more by actually doing a bit of a video diary. So thank you for watching and giving me an audience.
For more information with a good section on travel insurance, take a look at the Diabetes UK website.